Today is December 2nd, 2023, and this is your daily Half-Life 3 update. There is no news about Half-Life 3. So I want to keep talking about Godzilla Minus One, but I know I got to talk about the Fallout TV show that's coming to Amazon next year. Because a couple days ago, we got our first official images and some information about the show, and then I think today or yesterday, we got our first trailer for the show. And I'll be honest, this this show is looking really good. Like I'm not really seeing anything about this show that causes me concern, right? I mean, it looks amazing. This looks like Fallout. I mean, it honestly looks like Fallout 4, which I think is specifically what they're going for. Because I believe at some point Todd Howard described this show as like almost Fallout 5 in a way. Because uh, the main thing about this show, the thing that makes me the most excited for this show, the thing that works the most, in my opinion, is that this show is going to be canon to the Fallout universe. Now, I am expecting maybe there'll be some minor things that, some minor inconsistencies, but that's to be expected with anything. I mean, movies within the same franchise have minor inconsistencies back and forth, but this show is going to be canon. So this show is going to continue on in some way from Fallout 4. Like I don't know how that works because again, Fallout 4 is an RPG, so there's no canon ending because there's multiple endings. But I think specifically with the Brotherhood of Steel, which we see in this as well. I think that's going to play a part in that as well. I'm curious as to how the Brotherhood of Steel are treated. A part of me like a part of me thinks they're gonna be like the main villains of the story. I would be a little disappointed by that because obviously, I started with Fallout 3, and then going into Fallout New Vegas, I was always on the Brotherhood side, so I was a little disappointed to go into Fallout 4 to see how much the Brotherhood of Steel had like changed to being more, like not the good guys. Uh, So I think it's probably going to be a safe bet that the Brotherhood of Steel are not going to be the good guys in this. I mean, maybe they're like kind of sketchy, and then there's like another bad guys like a mercenary group. I'm sure we'll see I'm sure we'll see raiders at some point. I don't know if there'll be like a main raider and he's like the antagonist of the show or something like that. But yeah, I mean, just the fact that it's canon is amazing, right? Like even the good video game adaptations aren't canon. Like this is the first video game adaptation that I can think of that's going to be like canon to the video games. I mean, okay, I guess if you want to get technical, Halo Forward Unto Dawn is canon, but like that was like a web series or something. I that barely counts as like a live action adaptation. Uh, And is it even still like completely canon? They haven't contradicted that yet because I know they don't really care about that all that much. But yeah, that's the main thing right off the bat is the fact that it's canon. Uh, so that's enough for me right there. Besides it looking great, I don't know that song they used in the trailer, but it feels very much like it fits in with the music that we use frequently in the Fallout games. So that works as well. I'm glad that music style and music choice is going to be going through as well. Uh, my armor is getting tired. There wasn't a whole lot that was revealed about the story that I didn't kind of already piece together. I figured that it was going to be a basic Fallout story, which is, protagonist leaves Vault for whatever reason to go on adventure in the wasteland, and it is that. We have our main character, Lucy. She's leaving the Vault for whatever reason for the first time. That's kind of what I predicted. I had predicted that Walton Goggins was going to be playing a ghoul, which it's not like perfect casting in some weird way because you look at his face and it's like that's the face of I don't know, not like in a negative way, but it weirdly works. And I knew Kyle MacLachlan was going to be in it. I don't know if I don't know if they had like said he was going to be the overseer or just kind of like that's what I thought he would be. But he is the overseer, and he is Lucy's father, which I wasn't expecting that. So I was almost kind of thinking Kyle MacLachlan would be a more villainous character because a lot of Vault-Tec is not good, and we've had some bad overseers in this franchise as well. But knowing that it's her father almost makes me wonder how long he's going to be living in this show. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he dies in the first episode, and that's like the enticing event that leads Lucy to leave the vault. Uh, I don't know. I would be disappointed if they kill off Kyle MacLachlan in the first episode. But again, maybe he is. Heck, maybe he is the villain. That making Kyle MacLachlan the father of the main character and the villain would be kind of like an interesting twist on the Fallout 3 storyline, and tie in with Fallout 4 a little bit, where your son is kind of, I guess, the main villain. Probably the closest thing to a main villain would be your son in Fallout 4. My hand is getting really tired. This is going to be a long video. What else? Oh, I did, watching the trailer, something we did see, which I'm a little disappointed that they revealed that we were going to see this, but it completely makes sense once you think about it. There is going to be some scenes of pre-war. Like we see Walton Goggins look normal. We see bombs dropping on what I assume is Los Angeles. I don't know skylines. So yeah, I would assume like that seems like episode 2. Episode 2 has a cold open of Walton Goggins before he's a ghoul, and the bombs fall, and then you know then you go on to the regularly scheduled stuff. That's just what I would assume is what happens. Uh, I mean, I would have maybe liked for that to not be revealed in the trailer, but once you think about it, like that makes a lot of sense that they would do something like that, especially with Walton Goggins being a character who was alive pre-war. Something else that I think this trailer revealed. I hadn't known this until watching the trailer. But Michael Emerson is going to be in this as well, which is amazing. And Michael Emerson is a great actor. I'm very curious as to who he's going to be playing. I mean, we're talking about antagonists. I could totally see Michael Emerson being like the main antagonist, being some rich like tenpenny guy. Maybe he could be the main antagonist. Like he could have the Gunners or whatever talent company, some type of mercenary group, working for him, under him, or whatnot. But I'm kind of leaning to him not being the main antagonist, right? Because I feel like it's maybe a little bit too easy. And I think this is Jonathan Nolan, who they talk about Jonathan Nolan for Westworld, which makes a lot of sense. That's what he's going to be most famous for, besides the work he does with his brother, Chris. But Jonathan Nolan also did Person of Interest, which Michael Emerson was, a main character in Person of Interest. I haven't seen all of Person of Interest, but I've seen enough of it. He might be a little shady, Michael Emerson's character in that show, but overall, it seems like he's a good enough person. I don't know if Michael Emerson was in Westworld. I don't think he was. I feel like I would know that, but I would assume that it's that connection from Person of Interest that's having Jonathan Nolan bring Michael Emerson on board with this. I honestly don't know who. I honestly don't know who is in Westworld because I've not seen Westworld. I should maybe see Westworld. I've heard really good things about that first season, but then like not so good things about other seasons, or maybe like the other seasons are just not as good. I don't know who's. I think Ed Harris is in Westworld, maybe. I might have to check that out. But yeah. So yeah, I mean 2024 is looking like a really stacked year for TV, honestly. Because not only do we have this Fallout TV show, which I'm very much looking forward to, we have the second season of Rings of Power. I'm looking forward to that. The Boys season 4. And then we get the final seasons of Cobra Kai, Red vs. Blue, and Umbrella Academy. Which those three shows ending is gonna break me as well. But there's so much TV to look forward to next year. It's ridiculous. I mean, heck, even House of the Dragon, its second season is coming out next year, which I'm not especially like. I'm not looking forward to it, but I will see it. And I think we're getting a new season of Doctor Who. Next year as well, potentially. I know they're doing their specials. I've been watching those. But yeah, there's a lot coming. There's a lot coming next year. I'm looking forward to a lot. I don't know. 2024 is just seems like it's gonna be a really really good year for TV. And that has been your daily Half-Life 3 update for December 2nd, 2023.